Jack's.
Jack's, gotcha, that's your favorite.
Well, I was
Yeah. Do you have an agenda? Gotcha. Yeah, so this is for the Decatur office.
They are, so it's going to have to be
Before we get started, we will need to nominate a chairperson for this meeting. Can we get a motion to nominate?
I'll make a motion to nominate Tom Pope.
Do we have a second?
Call the vote.
All in favor? Motion has been approved.
The Board of Zoning Adjustments for the City of Decatur is now in session. You're coming before the board for consideration of an ordinance based on special conditions or the literal enforcement of an ordinance will result in unnecessary hardship. Or there has been an error in the enforcement of the ordinance. Your case will require 4 votes from the board to be approved. Today, we've got 4 members present. It will take a unanimous vote in order to be approved. Please come forward when your name is called and state your name, address, and what you'd like the board to do for you today. All cases will be called in the docket order. Once your case has been heard, you're free to leave. Please call the roll.
Case number 1, application and appeal of Takala LLC for a 13-space parking variance from section 25-16-2F to provide 25 parking spaces for a new Taco Bell restaurant. Property is located at 2142 6th Avenue Southeast in a B2 General Business District.
Yes. There's only 4 board members present today. You'll have to have a unanimous vote to be approved. If you like, you can defer your case to next month when there may be members present.
Gotcha. My name is Wells Holiday. I'm with Takala LLC, 3750 Corporate Woods Drive, Vestavia Hills, Alabama. We are requesting a reduction in the required amount of parking spots for a new Taco Bell site to be located at the intersection of Fairway Drive and 6th Avenue. Under the current zoning ordinance, 38 spots are required for the 2,500 square foot building that we have. We're proposing 25 spots. That meets our operational requirements. The hardship is spatial site constraints. The lot's just not large enough for 38 parking spots. And then also, when we did our due diligence on this site about a year ago, we were told there was a new zoning ordinance that was in the works, and that new zoning ordinance was 1 spot per 125 square foot of floor area. That would put us at 8 required spots. So we did our best to forecast, and unfortunately the new code has not been adopted yet, but I think a reduction in the parking spots meets the city's future ordinance and requirements.
Are there any questions from the board? Y'all do any more? When was your due diligence performed?
It was performed about this time last year. We knew we would start construction a year later.
And what you're proposing with the 25 spots, that comes from Taco Bell, that it meets their operational requirements?
It meets our operational requirements for this site. Any additional parking spots would not be used.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Yes, ma'am. Please come forward and state your name and address.
Denise Williams, I'm here, live at 1401 Fairway Drive here in Decatur. So their entrances and exits are unfortunately going to be on my street. So I think the fewer number of parking spaces, so that way we just don't have a lot of people hanging around in the parking lot, loitering and disturbing the neighborhood would be best. So please, limit their spaces. Would be appreciated. Thank you.
So you would be in favor of the lower count?
Yes, I mean, because, you know, people Right now, when the peddler's closed, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, people go to Waffle House, and then they go park at the peddler, and they have a party. And it's like, no, go away. People are trying to sleep. We have kids. We don't need you hooping and hollering and screaming in the parking lot. And I think, you know, they don't need that either. They don't need people just hanging around and loitering. You go in, you get your food, you get out, you go. So that's my opinion.
Thank you, Danny. Any comments from the building department?
No comment.
Any comments from the planning department?
Yeah, I would like to say that maybe the process of the site plan, one of the conditions we made was the variance, and I thought it was a bit of a concern to having another resident analyze what the access on 6th Avenue, and so that it went along, and I think it's one of the last things that they need to get the permit for.
Thank you, Tom. Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion? I'll make a motion to approve as submitted. Is there a second? Second. John, please call the roll.
Tom Pope,
Yes.
Mark Moody,
Yes.
Flor Gonzalez,
Yes.
Erica Hoover.
Yes.
All right. The appeal has been approved. Thank you. Thank you.
Ready for number 2?
Yes, call case number 2, please.
Case number 2, application and appeal of Pro Signs, Inc. for a 223.26 square feet sign area variance from section 25-77E1 to install 8 attached signs for a new Jack's Family Restaurant. Property is located at 3041 Highway 20 in a B2 General Business District.
I'm Ginger Hickey with Pro Signs here on behalf of Jack's. Address is 173 Rouse Road, Seminton, Alabama 35148. We submitted our sign package that we have at 300 plus stores with Jack's. It seems so high because they have painted murals and their advertisement promotional frames on the building that are included in that. Jack's is going through, this package is on all of their new stores, and they are going through their remodels and rebuilds. Decatur is a rebuild, and going with this standard sign package.
Could you kind of go through what that sign package includes?
Sure. On your front elevation, we have a 5-foot round logo cabinet. It attaches to the chimney on the front of the building. If you go by calculations with putting a square around it, it would be 25 square feet. Its actual is 19.63. On your main entrance elevation, you have Jack's channel letters. Those are 44 square feet. They go above the entrance canopy. On that side, you have 2 of the promotional frames. One is a 4x10, one is a 3x5, and there are 2 painted murals. You have your All About the South mural, and the one that has Athens would obviously have Decatur, the town name. On the drive-through elevation, there is another mural that says Jack's. You have a 3x5 frame and another of the 5-foot diameter round logos.
On the drive-through side, the painted mural is just Jack's.
Yes, ma'am. And it kind of blends in with that gray of the building. It doesn't pop out.
Ginger, just to, I did say at the first meeting, but there's only 4 members present.
Yes, sir.
So it takes a unanimous vote, yes vote.
Okay.
To get approved. You can defer next month if you like, to have possibly 5 members present.
Okay.
Would you like to proceed?
Please.
Are there any questions from the board?
Are there any signs in this package that could be omitted?
We really want the whole package, because like I said, it is standard at 300-plus stores. If you chose to deny that, we would go back and see what we could do with Jack's Corporate, what they would accept. But this is what they want us to go for.
Is this being required by Jack's Corporate?
Yes.
For the franchisee?
Yes. Well, Jack's is, there's not a friend, it's just Jack's.
Jack's company.
Yes.
Oh, so this isn't being imposed on a franchisee, this is their corporate?
Correct.
Have you had other situations where you have, so 300-plus stores, where are they located?
We have them all over Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia. They're starting to go into Florida.
I'm assuming you've faced this before,
We have.
and have had success in, I think the mural is very attractive. I really like the look of it.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a huge variance. We had success in talking to other communities or talking to Jack's about the compromise in terms of the amount of variance to keep the aesthetic, but reduce some of the signage.
We have. More cities do not count the painted murals as signage, as they do count.
I understand.
We had a discussion before.
Yes, most don't require a permit at all for that, so but everybody's different.
You're allowed, you're exceeding your allowable and your variance request you're exceeding.
Yes, sir.
And that is documented.
Yes, sir.
Is there any particular hardship other than this is the package? Is there any hardship?
There's not a hardship around for signage that I have seen, but just with it being standard at 300-plus stores, it's a four-way highway. We're at an intersection. You can see all of those sides from any direction.
And I'm familiar with that site. It's kind of an industrial area. And Kenny Allen leads down to Big, yeah. And then what Woodall on the other side of the road. Any more questions from the board? Any comment from the public? Comment from the building department?
No comment.
Any comment from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this bill is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion? I'll second that. Please call the roll.
Flor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Erica Hoover.
Yes.
Tom Pope.
Yes.
Mark Moody.
Yes. Your case has been approved.
Thank you very much.
Please call case number 3.
Case number 3, application and appeal of Jesus Delgado for a 9.5 feet front yard setback variance from section 25-10.92C to construct a covered porch 25.5 feet from the front property line. Property is located at 1308 19th Avenue Southwest in an R2 residential single-family district.
Hello, my name is Jesus Adrian Delgado. I live in the property of 1308 19th Avenue, Decatur, Alabama, 35601. First of all, we would like to build the front porch. We got several reasons. As the sun comes out, it hits all my front windows and the door, so my children get burnt all the time by grabbing the door handle. So That's one thing. The other thing, when it rains, they just get, wet since, the way the roof is, it comes down and it's just a mess. So I want to say it's gonna help out as far as like with, accidents, near misses, and all kinds of stuff, and especially the inside being really wet, from the rain or water splashing. The porch will be like 25 feet in width by 10-foot depth if possible.
Any questions? I did, this was mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, but there are only 4 members present. To be approved, we have to have a unanimous vote. We can postpone it until next month. We'd like to be heard about 5 members. Four required votes, yes, 4 required. I mean, it's still 4 required, and that, if you heard about 5 members, it's still 4 votes to be approved.
So I guess I can post, I guess it's up to me. Is that right?
Yes, sir, it's totally your call. It's just, you have to be unanimous, it has to be 4 yeses.
Can we go?
There's no deviation for 1 dissenter. With 5 members, there would be a room for 1 dissenter, no vote.
I don't think there's need in postponing it if, if all possible. This is something that we would like to get done, and it's mainly more for the sake of my children, being burned by the door, being metal, the handle itself. So it's something that we've been trying to do for the past 2-3 years, but, we never knew what to do as far as like, getting a permit, getting, the process. This is the first time I'm actually doing this,
All right. Is there any questions from the board? Is it front door metal?
The handle itself it is, and see the way the sun hits, it hits all of the front of the face of the house, windows, doors. And I would also like to add that, by the AC, I have 1 AC, it's a 2-story house, and I have 1 AC unit, so it's hard to keep up. The AC itself is hard to keep up with it never cuts off, with the windows being as hot and the whole area right there being as hot. So it's really hard. My electric bill's always high during the summer, so.
Do you have a storm door on that door?
I believe
Glass door?
I do, yes. It's a glass door.
Do you understand the instructions say you cannot put that on a metal door?
When we bought the house, it was like that, but even though I understand where you're coming from, sir, and it's hot, everything gets hot, window, glass, everything. All
That glass door makes it get hotter.
Yes.
Have you considered any other less intrusive options? This one's they're proposing a porch that projects out 10 foot and is 20 foot long. Have you considered any other thing, awnings or?
Not really. Well, I was told by, people that I could, if I, say for example, I put 25 by 10, I can go, like 25 by 6 or, not being too close to the street, or I don't know if that helps any at all.
Smaller.
Yes, making it smaller, not as big, I guess, for the space from the street,
When you look at the neighborhood, even the street over, Terry Hall, all up and down 9th, all the houses have uniform distance from the street. There are no porches or any garages or anything. They're all of uniform nature. Yours would be a unique, this would be unusual for the neighborhood.
All right.
Any more questions from the board?
It's required something smaller, would you have to come back?
Probably have to ask Rudy.
And if you would consider something smaller, would he have to come back?
If you build something smaller, you can build, if you receive this variance for the 10-foot porch, he's always able to build something smaller because it would require a smaller set of a variance. However, if you allow this particular variance, then he can build a 10-foot one.
So the question, yeah, so, but the question is then, if we suggested that smaller might be considered by the board, would he have to resubmit?
Generally,
Advertise and resubmit.
if he did, well, let me think about it. If he goes down and what he's requesting, you can't approve it because it would be less than what he is. He wanted to go up. I'm trying to remember if we did that. If you can probably approve it for a lower, a lesser setback. Variances. Sorry.
So we can make a condition 3 foot, whatever we decide.
Yeah, I think you can make it for lesser today, because the notice was for greater. And on this, generally, you're going to have, anyone who has an issue with it, is going to have an issue with it based on size. So yes, you could move to approve it for a smaller variance today.
You look at the house, how you gonna make the porch, is it gonna be a hip tree?
Yeah, I wish I would have had submitted pictures. I told my wife, and she was gonna email some pictures to you guys so y'all can have maybe an idea, an understanding. I was like, oh my God, she didn't do it, but it doesn't have no curb appearance, and it's just flat, you know. And we wanted to do like a gable coming out, you know, centered, of course.
I think the board is having difficulty with the 10 foot.
Yes.
And it is, when you look at an aerial picture, and I think we've got it here in our package, of the 19th Avenue Southwest and Terry Hall as well, all the front of the houses are neighborhood uniform, and that's one of the purposes for a zoning area.
What would be an ideal, I guess, depth for it? 7, 8, or 6? You know?
I think the biggest issue is all those houses line up. There are other options such as awnings, things of that nature to consider, that some awnings don't even require a permit, and that helps knock down the water and the sun. You know, the whole look of that neighborhood, everything is straight because they pushed all the houses lined up with that front setback requirement. So when we have one stick out, it really shows.
That would not require
Depending on size, yeah, the awnings,
dollars.
right, they don't count to your setbacks.
Yeah, they're
We don't even-
legless, they're just projected.
Yes, it's just basically a cover for your window.
So do you know how far, the edge of that sidewalk in front of your house is from the front door?
Yes, from the door itself to, I even measure from the door itself, and even on the survey, it says 35 foot 5, I believe.
0.5.
0.5, right?
Would be 6 inches.
35, yes, sir.
I'm talking about from your front door.
Oh, to the sidewalk itself, yes.
That little sidewalk.
It's, if I remember correctly, it's 8 foot.
He has a front stoop that leads to the sidewalk.
That's the front of the house.
That's the front. Well, I guess you can confirm, but
No.
Google says that.
Yeah, we haven't called the vote. Is you still eligible to, able to defer till next month? I know, I can't, I hate for, I'm just thinking about his perspective. I mean, if he sends the extra 30 days and comes back, it's still another.
I'm sorry.
That's still a possibility. I mean, if you defer it to next month, it can be heard, if he's still denied.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. I got some damage on the roof, so I'm working with my insurance as far as like putting the roof in. And I would hate to do that first before making, for example, front porch and then, you know what I mean, tearing up the new shingles. So, you know, with that being said, you know, I understand where you're coming from. Is there any way I can show you a picture of the front of the house?
I guess it was on the I honestly the way I is the house, you know, it's flat. I can figure it out, so.
So the suggestion is that you, or a suggestion is that you could ask to table the matter, defer the matter for one meeting and bring us some drawings or some information about what it would actually look like.
Okay,
Understanding that 10-foot is very large.
of course.
Variance can stick out and be different from that one literally.
I think that we just need to create a time frame so that it can be really the notice for what it is exactly supposed to be, and any changes to what you're requesting, you need to get it to the building department so they can put it in the notice for the next meeting. With any change from what you've asked for today. And the building department can help you with everything. John can help you with that.
Would deferring one meeting, if you could get everything in the building department and there was insurance issue you had?
Well, they're waiting on me to fix this issue rather than, you know, since I told them, you know, I wanted to get through this first and rather than, you know, fixing that issue with replacing the roof, because you can imagine replacing the roof now and then not being able to do this. So it's one of those things that I'm like, you know,
Well, the roofs won't be connected, so.
well,
I know you're gonna have them out there, I guess, and while you have them out there, you're wanting it all done at once.
well, I want to do the gable first, you know, the front porch if possible first, and then by all means, you know, replace. I mean, if I replace the roof right now, then I'm going to have to tear up a good section of the new roof. If I do, you know.
I thought it was a two-story.
Sorry?
Was it a two, that was the question I was asking. Is the roof you're proposing to put on there, does it tie into the main
Yes.
roof? Okay.
It ties into the existing roof. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I didn't, that's what I was trying to ask, yeah. Okay.
Proceed or?
I guess I'll, it's better off to get the right measurements as far as like better measurements I get, you know, and making, I guess, pictures so you guys can see it better clearly. And it'll be better. Yes, sir.
Do that now.
To wait, what,
Your motion to table the, table? Or move this.
Move it over.
Next month's agenda?
yes, if we can, that works.
Positions on there, whatever you'd like them to do between now and then, you'll cover all of your decisions.
I would definitely see what kind of roof is going to be put on the porch. How far to project out. Well, all the hoods you got here, you'll have to do it.
Yes.
So that's going to be,
Yes.
and Sean call roll, please.
Mark Moody,
We're going to Terry Kaiser. Yes.
Erica Hoover,
Yes.
Tom Polk,
Yes.
Flora Gonzalez.
All right, it's been tabled for next month.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Just to make sure that you know the deadline to get the new stuff in.
The 10th.
The 10th, yes.
Yes, sir, it'll be heard on the last Tuesday.
Okay.
You won't have to pay anything, but We can still use your old well, I guess we can use your old application. But I guess whatever you get to us, we'll put into the new, or does he need to fill out another one? Okay, all right.
All right.
Just send us what you got and we'll get it on the next one.
I will do. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's still some business before the board. I'd like to approve the minutes. Did you approve that?
No, sir.
Yes, we need a motion to approve or disapprove or make modifications. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting as written. I'll second that. Please call the roll.
Tom Pope,
Yes.
Flor Gonzalez, Mark Moody,
Yes.
Erica Hoover.
Is there any new business to discuss? Is there a motion to adjourn? Second.